Today's project is one that I've wanted to do for a while, and is one that's needed to happen for quite some time, and is also on one of the, in my opinion, coolest trucks on the road. I'm gonna hop in it and show you guys what it is. Oh yeah, it's got a grid heater. Oh, this thing's great. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. This is a 1942 Dodge that my dad built back in 2009-ish. I'm sure you guys know back in 1942, they didn't really have crew cab trucks. So he took two cabs, welded them together. It's got a GM dually rear end in it. It's on the original 1942 Dodge chassis. It's two-wheel drive, kingpin front end, all original to the truck. It's got a 1990 5.9 Cummins in it with a 727 transmission. So what we're doing today on this thing is we're trying to get some more speed out of it. Right now, with the current rear axle gear in it, and it not having an overdrive transmission, he can only get about 68, 69 miles an hour out of it. Obviously, I like to be able to go a fair amount faster, at least 70. That's what speed limit is around here and a lot of highways. So trying to get that up a little bit. Now, to do that, there are several ways we could approach this. But the most effective and simplest for this application is going to be changing the governor spring in the injection pump. So we're going to be taking the injection pump apart today and putting a 3,200 RPM governor spring in there. That's going to allow the injection pump to fuel the engine, get a couple hundred more RPMs out of this thing, and get some more speed out of it. We don't need a whole lot, but we should be able to get a couple hundred more RPMs out of it, which should translate to hopefully a few more miles an hour. So I'm going to get this thing pulled inside and get the heat on because it's kind of cold out today, and start taking it apart. Truck's in the garage. We got some heat in here. Just going to give you a little closer view of the truck before we get working on it. Show you the inside. It's pretty sweet. It's got Dodge Dakota seats in the front, auto meter gauges. One thing we do need to work on is getting the tach calibrated correctly. So diesel tach, like that one, runs off the alternator. And there's some fine tuning you got to do to calibrate it right. I think this one reads a little bit low. So we're not going to actually see the actual RPM that we're getting out of the truck, but we should notice the increase in speed after the governor spring's installed. Original seat in the back. Gooseneck setup. My dad hauls a 40-foot enclosed race car trailer with this thing, and fifth wheel camper. I mean, all sorts of stuff. This is not a showpiece by any means. He actually uses the truck, which I think is honestly the coolest part about it. So really happy to get to work on this thing. Like I said, he put it back together in about 2009. I think the odometer said about 34,000 miles that he's put on it, and it's been pretty much problem-free. The engine had approximately, I think, 130,000 on it when he put it in 2009, and outside of the injection pump developing an external fuel leak, trucks ran and performed awesome. This summer I'll probably clean up some of the wiring under the hood, but he's had essentially no issues with this. He did a really good job building it. And getting to the injection pump on this thing is super easy. It's right here. We got to go through a couple layers to get to that governor spring. I'm going to link you guys to a few websites I used as reference for this 3,200 RPM governor spring install. That helped out a lot. Curious to see how long it's going to take. I've read anywhere from 45 minutes to 5 hours. We'll see how I do. here's the pump cover. We got that off. Definitely wasn't a fun job, mostly because of this screw behind this idle screw being difficult to access with an Allen wrench. Not cool. There's a mod you can do to flip this thing around, so the slotted end that allows you to get in there with the screwdrivers at the front. Thinking about doing that. That's what the write-up said to do. Probably will do that because that thing was really annoying to deal with. So here's our 2 springs. New one on the right. Here's the old one. You can see there's a bit of a... let me get that in position. Ever so slight difference. The numbers on them are different. This one is a 386, and this one is a 366. So different, at least. Happy about that it didn't already have the new part in there. That would have sucked. Also keep in mind that keeping the innards of this top piece of the pump and the actual injection pump itself clean is very important. Dirty diesel fuel, big enemy of your diesel truck's fuel system. So keep it clean. And yeah, we're going to take this fuel screw out to aid in getting this pump back in, because the way the fuel lever works, I can show you that on the pump right now, but that's going to help us out. Maybe we'll turn it in an extra turn or so and get a little bit more power out of this. We'll see. Power was never really an issue, just the speed. That's why we're changing that spring. But let's look at the exposed pump on the truck right now. Well, here's the pump in the truck. You can see here the fuel lever I was talking about. That's under some spring tension, so it hangs back super far. That's why we can't have that pin in the cover for the injection pump. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get it on. So we're going to back that screw off and then pull the throttle shaft off to get the new spring on and hooked up to this top half piece that goes right here. Real sorry I didn't show you guys pulling the top part of the pump off. Pizza showed up, and I just lost my mind and had to get pizza. So real sorry about that. Wasn't too exciting. It was kind of annoying. Write-up covers everything. They know. Well, we're all back together, and sorry I didn't film it, but my dad came out here, and we just knocked it out. It was actually easier going back together than it was coming apart, surprisingly. So, pretty happy about that. Got everything seemingly tightened up. Got to put a ground wire over there for this battery charger thing you guys will see later. Also, after you've done this modification, it's possible, if you index the throttle shaft wrong, that the engine can run away, which means it just starts taking off and revving higher, and you can't stop it. So you guys saw the Chokemaster 300 in the last video. This is the Chokemaster 500. So we've got the air filter off of the turbo. In the event that it does start to run away, throw this over there, cut off the air supply, and it needs fuel and air to run. So you cut off the air, boom, can't run. So let's go ahead and, what do you say, bump the key on this thing, see if it starts. I'm going to get over here just in case it does take off, and hope that it doesn't. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's a loud engine. Smooth though. Smooth engine. Not seeing any fuel leaks or anything like that, so that's good. Well, that's a successful mission on this one. I'm going to go ahead and hook up the rest of these wires, and that'll be it for under the hood. And maybe we'll take it for a ride once we get some daylight tomorrow. Well, as you can see, Mother Nature in Michigan today put the kibosh to driving this truck and testing out that new governor spring. So we'll have to do that another day. If you guys got a first-gen Cummins and want to give this a try, putting that 3,200 RPM governor spring in, it wasn't overly difficult, maybe a 4 out of 10. Some intricacies and patience are required to get it done, but overall, not that big of a deal. I think the results are going to be good, and I appreciate your guys' support on these last videos I've been doing. I've been having a lot of fun making them and just getting stuff done that needs to be done around here. And also, just for being positive. It's nice being able to do what you like doing and just having essentially no negativity. So, trying to get 2 videos out a week. The next couple weeks are going to be pretty busy and a lot of cool stuff coming. Not trying to tease you guys, but just a fact. So check those videos out coming up. Check any of the old ones out if you missed them, and we'll see you in a couple days.